In just the first few months of 2024, NASCAR President Steve Phelps has mentioned on several occasions how he'd like the drivers to lean into rivalries and embrace the conflicts, something that's been a part of the sport since its very beginning. With that as the background, I asked 10 different Cup Series drivers during their visit to Circuit of the Americas what two drivers they believed would make that marquee rivalry and get the attention of fans inside and outside of NASCAR and have them talking. Some of their answers might surprise you.
I would say, honestly, probably the biggest one that would help our sport would be probably Denny and Larson. I feel like that would be just two fan bases that are huge fan bases and are very passionate fan bases. And I feel like you have to have Denny in there because he's just such a polarizing player right now in our sport. And then, you look at Larson, he's probably one of the most popular drivers. So maybe a Larson and Denny or a Ryan Blaney and Denny. I just feel like that would be really good for our sport if we had that.
Well, I think you pick, you kind of had it, right? I think Chase and Denny going at it was great for the sport. Two big names, two of the bigger names in the sport right now, guys who are racing for wins. And they've gone at it on and off for a handful of years. So I think if you could pick anyone, that's the one I think everyone would love to see keep going. And,
obviously, I'm going to throw Kyle's name in the hat, Kyle Busch. I'd say Kyle and Denny. I think that'd be, those guys know their stuff. They're really good in the car. And they always have something to say. So I think that'd be an interesting rivalry. And hell, there could have been one when they were teammates. Who knows? But I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah, everybody's scared of sponsors, so I am too. But, sign us to a guarantee that we don't lose our sponsors. We'll do whatever the hell needs to happen for TV ratings, But all in all, I don't know. There's definitely some guys out there that have some good comebacks and some good personas that could definitely play into that very well. So I'm not sure I'm one of those guys, but so be it.
I don't know, man. I mean, you gotta, I guess probably the two most popular drivers, so that'd be Chase and maybe Kyle Busch. But I don't know. It's you need two popular guys to go at it head to head for sure.
Who would do that today? I mean, Denny would have to be one of them, right? Like, he really embraces that role really well. He's in a place in his career where he's able to be super outspoken and not really pay for it like a lot of others would. I think him and his best friend Kyle. I think that'd be pretty entertaining.
I mean, it's certainly, but there's not many of me when it comes to that are going to be willing to lean into that. It's really hard to say because it's just that the personalities are so different in the series, and then you got to find guys that are running comparable. I think to have a rivalry, you have to have guys that are competing against each other, battling for wins week in, week out. Like a Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. It comes to mind for me.
Oh, Chase Elliott and Bubba Wallace. It's easy. They got the two biggest fan bases. If you get those two mad at each other, it'd be great.
I'll be honest, I don't know my competitors that well enough to make that call, because it's more about how you handle things out of the car than in the car, right? So it's how mad are you after getting wrecked, and how mad are you after someone bumped you on the racetrack, and what does that escalate to? And that's all about the personality. And to be quite frank, I don't really know these guys to that level where I could really maybe even care, to be honest.
I don't know. I know one thing, rivalries are good for sports, but they also have to be natural and be real. And I don't see any fake rivalries in our sport. And it's always interesting in NASCAR because it's the same teams every single week. You have rivalries in other sports and you don't see them for a few months at a time, and then you come back and it's a lot of build-up. Well, this is kind of like one goes to the next, goes to the next week, to the next week. It's just kind of how it works. So I don't know who the matchup would be. I'm sure there's a possibility it happens this weekend, right? You go to these road courses and somebody's usually mad at somebody at the end of it.